Welcome to Quantum Realms Earth Arise. The premise for this reading is the following. A group of elite world leaders on the side of darkness have been ruling the world for hundreds of years. Their agenda is to control humanity in a new world order, also called Agenda 21. This dark elite operate worldwide crime organizations and use black magic rituals to gain control over the earth both financially and spiritually. A second group of world leaders have banded together in secret to overthrow the dark elite and bring them to justice. This second group is formed by spiritual mystics and military and national leaders who pledge to protect their countries. This second group is called the Alliance. The Alliance has organized and funded national groups in different nations to overthrow the dark elites. These smaller groups are called White Hats. They work to bring justice to the corruption of the elites in their respective nations. The White Hats do this by collecting proof of crimes against humanity, such as through military investigations and whistleblowers. The White Hats also carry out secret arrests and military operations. Operations which rescue children and recover drugs and weapons from underground tunnels and on the open seas. Some White Hat operations include replacing a world leader, celebrity, or other national figure with an actor. The actor plays the role of the world leader until the crimes against humanity is fully investigated. In secret, military courts occur to serve justice on the world leader, while the actor remains in place until an announcement of resignation is given. None of these covert operations are put on mainstream media. YouTube, Facebook, and public news networks have censored much information because most media is controlled by the dark elites. In these readings, I ask for the truth in world news, but I also delve into a spiritual perspective previously unexplored. This unique perspective is the following. Supporting the Alliance is a spiritual force of angelic beings from higher realms. They include ascended humanity such as prophets, saints, and ascended masters who exist right outside our third dimensional reality within the higher realms. These beings of light also include angels who protect and govern the cosmic laws of Creator over the earth. These masters and angels exist in the higher dimensions but interact with humanity through communication and mental downloads. Through this communication, they assist the Alliance and humanity to make this world a better place. My goal is to bring awareness to the forces of light in the unseen realms and to provide truth of our current reality. Please use your intuition and do your own research. The truth comes only to those who seek it. To prevent censorship, I will use code words. The code words you will hear will be Save the Little Ones, C 3-letter agency, F 3-letter agency, Mr. T, HRC, Red Liquid, Military Corps, International Conflict, and Dark Elite. Let's get started. Welcome to the Quantum Realms. My name is Ruth, and today we have an interesting, fascinating topic. We will be looking at the presidential election, and we're going to be looking at it energetically instead of politically. So I have a very interesting story as well as several messages from the divine concerning that topic. But let's start off first with something that triggered me last week. Something triggered me last week, and that was there was a mystic online who actually said mystics are not supposed to take part in choosing political sides. And it kind of triggered me because I says, well, you don't understand the White Hats or the Alliance or all the good things that are happening in this world behind the scenes. And then yesterday morning, I sat down with Spirit, and I actually had one of my spirit guides appear to me and say, we want to talk to you about your world news video. And I could feel the presence and the energy, and that I was going to start automatic writing and communicating. I think it's called a transmission. And entity, the spirit who appeared to me was the soul essence of John the Baptist and the prophet Elisha. And I often call them Sandalphon. They carry the energy of the prophet Elijah, which transferred to the prophet Elisha, and then Elisha reincarnated as John the Baptist. So here we have a message concerning them. And what they began doing is showing me the energetics of a nation instead of the politics. And my heart began to change. And I realized that as prophets and mystics, we have to bring the truth of the higher realities, regardless of how we want to take sides. So this is not necessarily taking sides. I do have a political opinion, and if you've watched my videos, you'll know them. But this is actually a message from the higher realms of an energetic or spiritual point of view. So some of this might be a little bit above its time, so bear with me. I also do not underestimate the certain facts that have been in our the card pulls that we've done concerning politics, concerning the 2020 election. I'm not undoing that. Concerning the white hats, concerning the alliance, concerning the energy of different political leaders, because a mystic is supposed to read the energy of political leaders and present that energy to society. But we're not supposed to be attached to any political leader. We're supposed to be detached. What's that called when you have a conflicting, you have I forget the words, but when you have a conflict of interest. A mystic cannot have a conflict of interest. And so I'm still learning. So please use your own intuition and feel free to put in the comments how you feel about this. But there are several phrases that are coming to me from the spiritual realm. So I ask to connect to only that which is of the highest vibration. So I'd like to cleanse everything from this book, from these cards, from even my mind, that I would be a clear channel to receive from the highest realms of light. We ask for light and truth for our best and highest good. It is so. Now, several phrases are coming to my mind, which will be the premise of this reading. It is time to view our nation energetically instead of politically. Wow. America is facing itself. World leaders are a mirror of their people by either their choices, votes, won, or by a divine plan to raise them higher in consciousness. That's an interesting, deep topic that I'm not even sure I understand. Okay, so those are the premises of some of this reading here, messages that have been coming here for me. Before we get into the message from Sandalphon, and it's quite a long one, and then I have several things about how we have a mirror in front of us. This presidential debate was a mirror. We're going to look at key things that was a mirror to us. Before we do that, we're going to ask several 3D questions concerning the debate. Number one, was the debate pre-recorded? So the debate, there's a lot of things going on across Twitter, across X, across the news about different people being in panic, different political parties showed their sides, several people, but I've not watched any of it except I've seen several comments. So I'm going to do a raw card pull on, was this pre-recorded? Was it actually pre-done? I did watch some of the debate, and they actually took breaks in the middle. Interesting that the cards are falling out. Okay, we have definitely a matrix, an illusion that fell out. So I like a card pull, please, asking, was this the debate pre-recorded? And let me go ahead and pull up my camera for you today. Was this debate pre-recorded? Okay, we have, okay, so we do have a yes card, but we also have a negative energy card, this devil card or temptation card. We have the Fool card. It was announced. It was, yeah, this Fool is the beginning of something. So it was definitely begun before. It went through a lot of shocks and shakeups and Wheel of Fortune. Okay. So the message of what I'm getting here and what I'm seeing is that part of the video was pre-recorded beforehand. Part of it was live. Interesting concept there. We also have that some parts were pre-recorded in order to go either way, to shift the narrative. We have that there were technical difficulties. And the reason why some of the parts were pre-recorded are because they were afraid of cyber attacks. Wow. But it was, part of it was pre-recorded and part of it was done live. Okay. Yeah, and there was definitely a conflict about if this was even going to air. So they had to pre-record some of it. And I believe they used the pre-recording of it to actually have something to put somewhere. But we're not going to go into that. That's the logistics and the 3D. We definitely have a lot flying out here. We have the Ace of Earth. So yes, it was pre-recorded, but then we also have something changed. So I'm saying that this is probably, maybe even there was a shift, that they were going to pre-record it, something occurred, they got the go-ahead that it would not be attacked, it would not be censored, and they went ahead and did some of it live, which is why there could have been pauses and breaks in the middle of the recording. Okay, so the next question is, was former president, however you see him, former president, commander-in-chief, still, was Mr. T really there? Or was he an actor or CGI? Was Mr. T really there, or was he an actor or CGI? He was an actor, y'all. He was an actor in agreement. Let me show you. So we have the Page of Water here, which is the actor card in this deck. It's the immature, the told what to do, the drama. This would be the stage, the drama card. We also had that it was agreed upon that he would that he would be an actor. We have the strength, the manipulation, or the actual turning of things in their favor. We have 3 of air. There was a betrayal or a fear of attack. Assassin, yes, that word. I don't want to say it because this is going on YouTube, but possibly an attack. There was a fear of a backstab, an assassin that ends with the word nation. Okay, 4 of air. They had to do this very secretly to make sure that, let's get further clarity, please, on why did they have to do this, at least the parts, secretly. They had to do it. This could be the pre-recording that they did because they were afraid of a possible attack. We have the Devil card, we have the announcement card, and the 6 of air. So they had to pre-record this because there was actually fear of the A word, assassination. And there was also fear of it getting attacked. But once they moved past some of the initial stages of pre-recording most of it, they were able to possibly do it live. So that's coming up again for some reason, that the whole setup of it. But it was either, yeah, they could not put him live on air. It was too dangerous. And I did get that feeling from him. If you notice when you watch the video, the corner of his mouth were really drooped. It just looked different, really different. And his skin looked darker than normal. It could have been the lighting, but I do remember when I first tapped on the screen, I saw that his droopy mouth. That was the first thing. And so they possibly pre-recorded, maybe some of him was real, but some of him wasn't. But they definitely had to keep him safe and move him out of harm's way. Okay, was Biden really there? Or was he an actor or CGI? Okay, we have the Hermit card that flipped out. The Hermit is secret knowledge, secret wisdom. I'm getting DNA. Secret knowledge, secret wisdom. But was Biden an actor, CGI, clone? Was he himself? Transformation and 2 of Earth. All right, we have transformation, 2 of Earth, Queen of Earth. Okay, so this is a double. This is a body double, you all. Two of Earth transformed, but he's a different body double than what we have been seeing. A complete body double. So this could be an actor. There have been many, many, many body doubles that have played him, but I'm also getting a clone DNA. Yes. I'm also getting an actual clone that they try to reclone him. And people say that they last every 2 years, or it's an actual actor playing him, but I do believe that it is a clone. We're getting manipulation of DNA. We're getting, it's not the same actor that we've been seeing on stage or we've been seeing in the political arena, traveling to different countries. It is a different clone. And I did get that feeling there as well. Okay. So we're going to do a poll now and ask what was the divine purpose of this debate from the white hat or the alliance perspective. They fought hard to get this debate. Some of it was pre-recorded. Now, I did not get the CGI card as much as it was pre-recorded, which would have been close to the CGI card as well. They could easily manipulate things using a pre-recorded video. So what is the energetic purpose from the white hats? Okay, they really want to end the fakery in the movie. We have here fakeness, the magician, and the 8 of Earth. They're working very hard to alchemize the nation and bring us into a more one viewpoint. Like they're trying to get the nation to come to a consensus. What is the divine energetic purpose of the white hats? Okay, we're getting the military card, we're getting the star card, we're getting the 7 of fire. They really want to move forward. We're getting, okay, this was CGI. They created this. They did patch it together using some CGI. It was divinely inspired to move things forward. It was done in secret. Pre-recorded is coming up again. Thank you. And we have 4 of Earth. They're trying to bring up the corruption, the incompetence, the lack. They're trying to bring up how controlled Biden is and how incompetent he is. But they're also just trying to reveal a lot of the mechanisms of our society. So a lot of awakening and awareness. All right, this helped us get some clarity on the 3-dimensional logistics of the debate. Now, we're going to look a little bit at what does our spirit guides have to say about this. What do the prophets that are in the etheric realm have to say about this debate? I'm just going to read it. In my vision, I saw Sandalphon. It's the soul name of, I believe, John the Baptist. It's either they come together. I'm not understanding it all, but I do know this is a very strong prophetic presence that comes in, and he comes to me through the personality of John the Baptist. And John the Baptist was a prophet, a forerunner of Jesus. And he prepared the people by calling them to repentance and to change, to upgrade their ways to a new way of thinking. So he was awakening their awareness, awakening their consciousness. But and back then they called it repent. Meaning leave your greed, leave your low vibrational living, leave your anger, your bitterness, your unforgiveness, leave that and come up higher into love, joy, peace. So that's what the term repent means, leave the low vibrations and come up to the higher vibrations. So he used the word repent in the days of 2,000 years ago, in the days of Jesus, in the days of early Palestine. John the Baptist also prophesied against the world leaders and publicly told King Herod that he was wrong by stealing another man's wife. Because he was king, he could then take another man's wife. He was actually living with this woman who was married to his brother Philip. So he was actually living with, because he was king, he felt he had a right, and John the Baptist called him out on it. That as well rose the awakening of the people to be like, oh, our world leaders can't just do everything they want. And it gave the nations and the world a sense of accountability, awakening your consciousness to the light. So here we have this prophet coming to me. And I was actually thinking about not even doing a video this week. And these are the first words that he spoke to me. I actually went back and rewrote them down. He said, there are many people more interested in hearing from us than from Donald T. or world leaders. They are looking for hope. Tell them this. So I went and grabbed my notebook and I wrote down through automatic writing and connecting and listening. This is what I wrote. But it was very interesting that he said there are many more people in America more interested in hearing from the Ascended Masters than even from the political. But it's from an inner consciousness, desire. They're looking for hope. And they don't know they're looking for things from a higher perspective. This is what I wrote. World leaders are a direct reflection of the hearts of the people in the coming Aquarian age. You as humanity are entering a time when your choices and your heart will be reflected back to you like never before. It is also so with your national leaders. I prophesied to the Herod dominion in Judea and Samaria. I viewed in visions their heart. I saw their deeds. I stood on the stone walls and decried their evil intentions. I revealed the truth. This caused the people of the land to see the truth of King Herod's wicked deeds. Thus they saw their own wicked deeds. When a leader is exposed, the people are filled with shock. But they have to face the same misdeeds in themselves. I tell you this to show you that a nation's leader is reflective of the collective nation's heart. The people see themselves as the world sees their leader. If the king is shameful, the people will feel shame because they know the neighboring kingdoms see their king's shame. So it's like a projection. If our king is looked down as evil, then they must look down upon all of us as evil. So they feel that shame. They feel the shame of the blunderings of a president that can't talk right. They feel the shame of a blundering of a president or a king, either now or in the past, that made horrible decisions. And the rest of the nations look at you in dismay. So right now, this is telling me, before I continue, that America feels a sense of shame because our presidential leaders messed up during that debate. It looked horrible. We had someone saying, they were supposed to be saying we beat COVID and we increased Medicaid, and they said we increased COVID and we beat Medicaid. That was a statement from the debate by one of the things. We feel as a collective the shame when our leaders are looked down with shame. It's just a natural phenomenon of an energetic realm as a national perspective. Let's continue. If the king is shameful, the people will feel shame because they know the neighboring kingdoms see their king's shame. And then I have to read, I was going to skip this, but I have to read what I did wrote. So it is with Joe Biden presented as the leader in America. I'm just going to leave that there. When they see incompetence, they see their own. When they feel the nations viewing him with contempt, they feel shame. They also see their own lack of ability. Let me start that over again. They also see their own lack of ability to lead a nation, or their own lack to choose an appropriate leader. America is feeling a lot of shame because of the inappropriateness of our leader. And we have to acknowledge that if we're going to heal as a nation. From this day forth in America, the Americans will feel a holy sense of awe and regret, indeed shame. This will awaken them to the changes they have to make within themselves. This is a mystery. When I, as John the Baptist, preached repentance on the riverbank, it had some influence to shift people's heart to the light. But to those of a hard heart, I got their attention by pointing out the sins of King Herod, who took another man's wife. Pointing out greed and deceit revealed the truth. And the whole nation had to face their own greed and deceptive nature. So you see, the debate was only a revelation. The leadership of America will only change when the hearts of the people align with divine will. We as the masters will not waste a King David on a nation of Saul's men. And those of you who know the Bible will understand that. We as the ascended humanity, the evolved humanity, and the angelic realm watching over the earth, we will not waste a King David, a man after God's own heart who ruled the nation of Israel. We will not waste a King David on a nation of Saul's men. Saul's men followed King Saul, and they did whatever they told them. They killed women and children. They disobeyed the prophet. They followed him blindly into many battles that cost them their life. We, as the masters, will not waste a King David on a nation of Saul's men. We give world leaders to men and women worthy of them. Rise up, America. Cleanse the deeds of your heart with the light of the violet flame. Rid your evil intentions out of your heart. Align with divine will. Seek the truth, and you will be set free. When you align with the divine, your nation's leader will too. And that is the end of the transmission. Now I'd like to clarify a few things. Several of things that I would like to clarify is what we often choose as a nation is not what we will attract. What I would choose in a boyfriend is not always what I have attracted in the past 5 years. That's just a fact that what we would like is different than what maybe is the state of our healing, the state of our emotional state, our mental state, our limiting beliefs, all that shadow work, all the soul contracts, all the past choices, all the limiting beliefs, all of that has to go if we're going to actually attract who we really, really, really want to choose. So I'd like to say that many of us, I do believe many of us in America would have chosen Mr. T in the past 4 years. But I believe the divine will says, I need more Americans to see themselves. And so they gave us someone who actually would help awaken a lot more people in the collective. And Spirit's been telling me, and I'm going to be sharing here a little bit about how we as a nation are mirroring our world leaders. And I'm going to put some stock on both sides here. So let me go ahead and start that before I continue what I was saying. Number one, unhealthy. The world leader right now is unhealthy and is very sickly. Let's just be honest. Americans are known as the most unhealthiest people among the nations. And we choose it. It's not because somebody took a jab in another country that Mr. Gates gave them and everybody fell sick. That wasn't even their choice. They might be a sickly nation and have to change things, but I'm looking at America, and America is known as a very unhealthy, sick nation. And our leader is very unhealthy. We're just going to leave that there. We need some change. Americans need to change some things. Number two, lack of mental clarity. America is not seeing things clearly, spiritually, energetically, or from the higher realms. We're a very religious nation, and we're going to get into that in a moment. But we don't see things. We're not seeing things from the divine perspective. We're not seeing things even as a collective now. Many of us within are seeing things, but we're not truly seeing things from an energetic point of view. So I thought that was very interesting there. This is revealing that we need to see, wow. And even when I look back at where I was in 2020, when there was a shift of the leadership, I realized I was in a very religious church, following what they told me. I'm jumping ahead of myself and not seeing clearly. I would never be doing this reading today. I would have called me a witch. But I needed to face myself. And I see who I am today versus who I was in 2020. This is a good thing. This is a good thing because we need to face what's not working in our own life. So number one, unhealthiness. America is very unhealthy. We need to get Yeah, we need to get it together. We're lacking mental clarity. We need to ask the divine to see things spiritually and not politically. What was that statement? It's time to view our nation energetically instead of politically. We have not been seeing clearly, and the divine gave us someone who can't see in front of his face. With mental clarity, that is. Blame on both sides. This is what Spirit's been speaking to me about. Whoever takes office in 2020 needs to drop the energy of blame. Okay? We can't have this accusation spirit on both sides of these. We're going to need to step up. Okay? Then Spirit shows me, but look at the blame on both sides of the party. We take one word, whether Democrat or Republican, both are guilty, and we say and we send angry energy into all those who are registered either way. We blame. We're sending negative energy, and it's actually dark magic, Spirit showed me. We say the Democrats, and we send them angry energy. We say the Republic, and we're sending them. It is a conflict of dark magic. Instead of loving and saying, I forgive you, I release you, I let you go. Instead of saying, I will be the change I want to see in this world. Instead of saying, you were wrong, and this is what we need to do instead. There's been a lot of blame, and even during that debate, if you felt energetically, there was a lot of blame. Then Spirit showed me this too is a mirror. How many people vote for Mr. T, but they're involved in religious churches and are the most judgmental, critical members of our society? Blame. And he is actually mirroring back to some of the conservatives how nasty they are in the angry attack of who they are. And this is necessary. And remember, this is energetic. This is not whether it's right or wrong or whether it needs to happen. I believe everything right now happening is in the divine plan. And Mr. T is responsible for his energetic attacks of the Democrats. He's responsible. That's between him and the divine and karma. That's not what I'm judging here. I'm just saying it's a mirror to many conservative Christians who have voted for him. Because when I actually began coming enlightening, the conservative Christians gave me the most nastiest treatment ever. And Spirit's saying it's all a mirror. It's all an energetic mirror of what we need to cleanse in ourselves. I need to let go of my religious dogma of I'm right, you're wrong, how dare you believe differently than me. I needed to let go of that in 2020. And as a result, I got a world leader like Mr. Biden because I needed to let go of that blame. I needed to let go of blame so that I don't mirror Mr. T's behavior where he's constantly hollering at the Democrats. If he gets into office in 2024, he needs to drop the blame because we don't need that energy leading our country. We need to be moving forward. And I pray to God that the energies of our president shifts to stopping to blame. I know he needed the blame. I know he needed the attack. I know he needed the truth to come through, to awaken people. So I'm not judging him. I just pray before God that he receives the strength to let it go because he has been abused by the system. But at some point, we need to give him light and truth to forgive so that if he gets into office, he can be a healed leader and not a wounded, bleeding leader who's bleeding and bleeds on others. We need to pray for President Trump's healing. Whew. Okay. We need to stop blaming other people and start seeing ourselves as one. And whatever I don't like in the D's or in the R's, whatever political party I'm part of or not part of, it doesn't really matter. I need to make sure I am not contributing to the energy that's coming back at me. So the blame needs to go in 2024. The anger, the party division needs to go. We need to heal, and our leaders need to heal. All right, that is one message from the divine. Let's continue. The teleprompter. This is something Spirit showed me that was amazing. The teleprompter is a mirror of American National Society. We need to be told what to do. We don't do anything unless we're told. We have lived that way for many, many years, and that vibration is being mirrored back to us. We have not been independent. We've not been sovereign. We've not done our own research. We've not researched. And I'm talking about before 2020. We've not researched our own leaders. We simply see what they say and say, oh, I like what you say. And we don't research their history. We don't research and make our own independent. We don't dare to go into the sites that we don't agree with. We don't dare to do anything. There's a truck outside confirming what I'm saying with his big horn. That was Jake break. We're actually, as a society, always been told what to do. And so the teleprompter was the most hilarious thing I saw when Spirit says, yes, Joe Biden needed a teleprompter. And many of Americans have needed a teleprompter too. And that is a message from the angels. That's a message from the higher realms who want to see us ascend and say, many of you have needed a teleprompter. Many of you don't know how to access your own light and get messages about who to vote for or who not to within yourself. This was so inspiring, but also very challenging to be able to get a message of who to vote for from our own inner light instead of looking to see what everyone else is saying about that candidate. Wow. Wow. That is challenging. And I'm going to leave it right there. So this is definitely a time where this presidential debate was a mirror of the hearts of the nations in America, if not most of the nations in the world. Who are we going to be? We've put a lot of stock into our world leaders, and now it's time to put stock in ourselves. And I do believe things are changing. This was the best thing for America. It's like that shadow work. When you realize that you had a childhood wound, because that's what this is. America's childhood wound of giving away her power to political leaders is now in front of her face. And we realize we've been told what to do. We're unhealthy. We don't have mental clarity. We don't know how to access our divine light for world leaders. And many of us, though, I want a disclaimer, many of us did choose Mr. T. But we did it because we were so scared of Mrs. H. Not because the divine light told us to. I'm looking forward to 2024 to be a time where we begin to heal energetically as a nation. As we looked at this childhood wound, we can just simply say, what's that Sunday school song? It's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer. And that's something that the angels and the masters are asking of us light workers, for us to transmute some of these energies into healing. Healing for the D's, and by that I mean the political party. Healing for the R's, healing the political party. Healing for, I don't know if we call it a clone, a CGI. Healing for Joe Biden's persona over our nation. Healing for Mr. T, that he can heal. And maybe he's doing okay, but the actor that played him was really given a script to show us our childhood wounds. Maybe that is the case too. But we do want to send an energy of light to our president and to the president coming, that they would be divinely protected and be whole and cared for, so that he can care for our nation and for the hearts and the collective of Americans, that we can be healed of the division of our political parties. It is so. Until next time, y'all, I will see you later. Together in light we rise. To our spirit teams, we are grateful. We are love. We are one. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I will see you next time. Bye.